All right. Next up, another huge announcement. Elon Musk has announced his own version of ChatGPT. On Saturday, Musk announced Grok, Grok. We'll get to that in a second. An AI agent designed to answer any question conversationally. According to an announcement from XAI, which is Musk's AI company, quote, Grok is designed to answer questions with a bit of wit and has a rebellious streak. So please don't use it if you hate humor. A unique and fundamental advantage of Grok is that it has real time knowledge of the world via the X platform. It will also answer spicy questions that are rejected by most other AI systems. Now, XAI says the model is still in very early beta. It's based right now only on 2 months of training. Musk says that Grok basically has real time access to info on X. And he's indicated that all subscribers to X's Premium Plus plan, which is $16 a month, will get access to Grok once it's out of early beta. Now, a quick note on the name Grok, which is again spelled Grok, is a popular term among science fiction fans that was coined in Robert Heinlein's classic sci fi novel, A Stranger in a Strange Land. Now, in the context of that book, Grok is a Martian word that basically means you have established a profound understanding of something or someone at a really, really deep level. So it's actually often used, in like geek circles or among tech circles to communicate that someone has a comprehensive understanding of a subject, so much so that it borders on the intuitive. So, Paul, let's first talk about why Grok is important. Is this a legitimate competitor to OpenAI, Google, Microsoft, and the other major players in the model space?
Um, so I no, not yet. I don't think it's reasonable to say it's competitive. All we have right now is this was announced over the weekend. It was quite random, which we'll talk about in a minute. Um, they've been training it for a very little amount of time. They've only even been pursuing it for a very short amount of time. So there's nothing about it that tells you it's actually competitive other than their own data, which says it's basically at GPT 3.5 level based on their internal evaluations, which no one externally has assessed it yet. So that being said, it does have Twitter data, X data, and it has Elon Musk behind it. So we've talked a lot about I think the final topic big topic we'll cover today is these foundation models and kind of what separates them. But one of the key things is the proprietary data they have access to. So the fact that they have a pipeline to real time Twitter data is unique because Elon Musk turned the API off to everyone else.
Hmm.
So no one else has that data at the moment. You could question whether the Twitter data is really that valuable
Hmm.
given the current state of Twitter. But if we go under the assumption that Twitter's real time data is extremely valuable as a representation of the pulse of society, which is kind of what they're going for, then yes, it has the potential to very quickly become a major player in the space.
So I guess if it does become a major player, like why do we need another foundational model? Like how is this different or better or needed more than what's already out there?
Well, I think for that answer, we may have to go into a little bit of history. So we've touched on this before on the podcast, but Elon Musk was a co-founder and the original investor in OpenAI. So Sam Altman, Elon Musk, Greg Brockman, Ilya Sutskever, who we talked about recently on the podcast, they created OpenAI to be an open alternative to what Google was building. So back when they created OpenAI, they thought that Google was basically going to corner the market on AI and they didn't care about doing it in a responsible and safe way. That was Elon's interpretation. So he teamed up with Sam, put I think 100 million in, creates OpenAI. 2018, a few years later, they have a disagreement about the future of OpenAI. Elon decides to unceremoniously split or was pushed out, one or the other. OpenAI launches a for-profit component to the company and goes on their way. And Elon has, since that time, apparently been very unhappy with Sam and OpenAI and has continuously stated the need to build a competing company, in essence, that he felt that he needed to get back in the game. So while he is definitely one of the people kind of trumpeting the dangers of OpenAI, the irony is all the people trumpeting those dangers are themselves building the most powerful AI in the world. So part of this is not actually that we need another foundation model. It's Elon Musk's desire to build a foundational model in his own making of the things he finds to be essential to these models. Um, so that's the OpenAI part. He also obviously has Tesla, which is a major AI company around trying to create autonomous driving. He has Optimus robots that he's trying to build intelligence into. He turned off the API to Twitter months ago so that these AI companies could stop scraping Twitter data. And he created XAI, which is the AI company that is building this model. The other factor is he bought Twitter for $44 billion. 2 weeks ago, an internal valuation put Twitter at $19 billion. The fastest way to make Twitter worth more is to make it a true AI company or to make the data of Twitter power a foundation model. So there's lots of factors here, but more than anything, it's Elon Musk's own desire to build an alternative to OpenAI. The timing of the thing was certainly interesting. I think I
Mm.
noted that to you over the weekend was like, he knew the dev day for OpenAI was today. So they released this and said it's a very, very early beta. Almost no one has access to this thing. They've only been training for 2 months. And as I was cutting my lawn on Sunday, I was like, wait a second. There was no motivation to launch this thing today other than the fact that the OpenAI dev day was right now. And he was just trying to, like, I think, mess with Sam and OpenAI.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't, again, does the world need another foundation model? I don't think so. Does Elon need a foundation model for all of his initiatives? Absolutely. Like, he's not going to build Optimus, his robots, or his cars on Sam's GPT-4 because he's has a beef with Sam right now. So, Elon's approach is we'll build it. And by, switching the Twitter data to becoming the fuel to power a real-time AI engine, now all of a sudden Twitter's potentially worth a lot more money.
So it sounds like really time is going to tell how valuable that data from Twitter will be essentially in real time.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously people have opinions right now of Twitter, the experience overall, whether it's gotten better or worse since Elon took over.
Mm.
Um, it's certainly become more open, I guess, in terms of what it allows on the platform. I will say that there's a couple of things that jumped out at me at the release of this. One is there's no way they had time for red teaming this thing.
Mm.
So, like, if you're on Twitter at all these days, you can tell that Elon is much more about let people communicate in whatever way they choose to communicate, and the community will determine whether or not that information is viable or valid. So OpenAI red team, meaning like safety, trust and safety testing of GPT-4 for like 6 months before they released it on the world. This model's only been in development for 2. So there's no way they've done any real level of red teaming to ensure the trust and safety is built into this model. So I have a lot of concerns around how this model could be used and what it'll do and what it'll say, but my concerns are irrelevant here. They're going to release this thing no matter what.
Mm.
Um, so I mean, I was paying for the premium on Twitter only because I was trying to see what it would do and what, the functionality would offer and things like that. So the premium plus for $22 a month, which when you compare it to ChatGPT for 20 months seems like you're getting ripped off. I will pay it to see what it is. And I can tell you as a Tesla driver for the last 5 years, I've had a Tesla. They released this thing a few years back where it's like $10 a month for basically live streaming data into your car, and it had all these other features baked in, and it became this enormous value. Like, the $10 a month is an absolute steal for what Tesla gives you. It's like a lot of value packed into the $10 a month. So there's a part of me that's really curious to see what else they build into this premium plus plan, which I honestly didn't even know was a thing until I saw that the premium plus users would get early access. So I don't know. There's You can't just look at this as another foundational model. There's too much other things that come along with Elon Musk and his all of his businesses and all of his personality traits, I guess, for lack of a better way to say it. that fit into why he's doing this and whether or not it's going to work. I do think it'll be a polarizing foundation model. Like, I think people who don't like Twitter and the experience there and Elon's way of communicating will hate this tool.
Hmm.
But time will tell, I guess.
Yeah, as someone that read and very much enjoyed the Elon Musk biography, I can't say that I feel confident red teaming is something he would like to be doing.
I'm guessing
It-
they don't have those people on staff, if you might guess.
yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't hire communications people. Like, he fired the whole communications team. He fired the, ethics and safety team at Twitter. Like, it's just not his style. So yeah, I don't know. I worry about this one a little bit, to be honest with you.